Good afternoon and a big special welcome to our incredible announcement. I'm sure you're looking forward to this moment, but you know, every great journey starts with a single step. It was 14 years ago when we took that first step of where we wanted to make hope contagious. We called it a social revolution, where we were changing one life at a time. But today we find ourselves at a very defining moment, a moment that will change the trajectory and the future of RLabs forever. We're on this journey of making hope contagious, and we're about to announce that we are taking that next step. So join me as we listen to this announcement as RLabs go very ambitiously on this journey of impacting 2 billion lives.
RLabs South Africa, as a pioneering organization at the forefront of innovation, we are thrilled to introduce Ms. Christine Nicola-Tafel as its incoming Chief Executive Officer. High five! With a profound commitment to excellence and a passion for driving positive change, Christine's appointment marks an exciting new chapter for RLabs. Christine brings a wealth of experience and a dynamic perspective to a new position. Having demonstrated this leadership expertise in various capacities, we are so confident that Christine is the right person to lead RLabs. Christine, we want to hear from you today. Tell us more about Christine Nicola-Tafel. And what has your journey been like with RLabs?
Oh my goodness. I have to start from the beginning, of course. And that is in 2012. I remember this day so clearly when I walked up to you. I walked up to Renee and I asked her, what is this RLabs that everyone is talking about? So yes, my journey started out of curiosity. And 11 years later, of course, I didn't look back. So it's been, it's been exhilarating, challenging, moments I'm really proud of. You know, I got to see so many young people graduate. I got to form part of co-creations that turned into innovations and, businesses that spun out of RLabs. And so it was always a fun time. And I mean, to date, I've been appointed as the Zlato chairwoman. I say chairwoman because I can.
I love it.
And so, yeah, like I always knew that about every 3 years, I needed something new. And so from heading up the Grow Leadership Academy program to heading up the Youth Cafe, Innovation Lab, RLabs Women, that was always my journey, and I absolutely loved that working across the organization meant freedom, and freedom was always given to me, and I mean I really appreciated that. So yeah.
Well, Christine, this is a new journey and one we all know and believe you will be successful in. Tell us how you first felt about hearing about this change that was coming.
So honestly, because of course I need to be really, really honest, I chose not to think much about it. And this has always been my attitude, because I believe that our thoughts were always a barrier to possibilities. And but very soon, in this last year, I realized, this is it's definitely not about me. And I have gone through quite a bit of coaching, believe it or not. Life coaching, executive coaching. I had to, learn to change some real toxic habits, and that's the inability to say no without apologizing, of course, and learning to breathe and rest. Those are some simple, or like it seems insignificant, but quite major shifts that I needed to make. And just in reflecting, I had to understand why this kind of change, because I realized that this is deeply rooted, and the change was rooted. It came from within, and the responsibility is definitely beyond me, beyond my my personal comprehension. Therefore, it is important for me to be rooted in truth, so that what is produced is truth and in excellence.
Thank you so much, Christine, for sharing your heart.
Oh.
If you were able to go back in time, 10 years.
10 years!
What would you tell yourself about leadership that you didn't know back then?
Okay, so you actually allowed to love. You're allowed to be kind, compassionate, and trustworthy. And lastly, you can be assertive and yet become a well-respected leader. I'd like to add another one, if that's fine.
Of course.
I very late in my journey, I realized that it's, I'm not expected to always have it all figured out. And my goodness, am I glad I learned that. Yeah.
That's a really good one. I think it's never too late in life to learn that and take that. I'm definitely taking that little nugget from you. Thank you.
So, I mean, yes, I know it's been quite a journey for me, but I'm pretty curious. What are some of the learnings, Renee, you've learned in the last 14 years? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If this was a series, we would definitely have a 10 seasons. But on a serious note, the last 14 years, or at least 14 years ago, we were at a different place as an organization. I don't think we could have been called an organization when we were starting out. But most importantly, I was at a different place. I was a completely different person. One of the things that I'm really privileged, that I find a privileged and I feel really blessed about is that I was able to grow with the organization. So yeah, of course we were building, we were exploring, we were innovating while growing and at the same time finding our place in society. And for myself, as a woman, I grew up in Mitchell's Plain on the Cape Flats. I never thought that I'll be part of such a movement, such an organization. And even just dealing with, doubts. When we started out and we started exploring and experimenting and talking about innovation and using technology to reconstruct communities, and we used all these words and nobody understood what we were saying, Most of the time we were figuring it out as we were going along. And just, over the last, not even the last 10 years, I think, we've had different moments where we have shifted as an organization, and so even on a personal level. And being able to see that personally, along with our staff, with our team that has grown, with our community, with partners, with other organizations, with how everyone has grown over this period. And 14 years ago, the landscape of South Africa was really different. This was, to 2009. People were not into technology like they are now. People were not open-minded, and especially if you starting things on the grassroots, nobody expected anything good to come from our communities. And we were really looking at how do we build this narrative. We knew we had to do it, we didn't know how. But today I can confidently say that we are a strong organization and a movement of people from across various sectors of society, because we needed everyone. It wasn't just one person or 5 people. We needed all the sectors of society to actually come along. And we really believe that people are our world's most underutilized, yet its greatest resource. And of course, our mission is to unlock their potential.
Oh, thank you.
So back to you, Christine. Back to you.
Back to me.
What excites you most about being the CEO of RLabs South Africa?
Oh,
It can be more than one thing. It can be more than one thing.
of course, it's going to be more than one thing. Thank you. So, for people that actually know me, I'm a dreamer. And so everything I have ever accomplished, whether it's professionally or in my personal life, was once a dream dared, to put in action. And I finally get to dream again. And what makes this dream so significant is that it's the dream that will prevail legacy. And it's no longer my little pocket dreams. And so we are going deeper, we are going sharper, we are going wider. And yes, the foundation has been laid, the foundation has been sealed. And together we're dreaming and actioning on a much greater dimension.
I love that so much. I feel inspired. I'm really feeling inspired. After sharing that, what's your vision for RLabs South Africa under your new leadership?
So, I envision a group of young adults, because we can't do it without the young people, right? Thriving in excellence. So excellence, I do believe, is going to be the new normal. I also believe that it's quite imperative that we are active, in our communities Because believe it or not, some people still haven't heard of RLabs. So I'm like, people need to know about RLabs in our communities and across our provinces. Lastly, and I think, which is it's even more important, is that RLabs South Africa will be, the benchmark for the future of RLabs. Yeah.
So, the future of RLabs. That's very interesting. So, when we started out, and I've shared this story with you many times, in 2009, when we got registered and we came up with a name, and our tagline was reconstructing communities through innovation. And then there was another chapter where we moved to RLabs, a social revolution, right? And this was the moment in time that we realized things are really hard to change. People's mindsets don't just change by itself. You have to be really systemic in bringing about that change. So our tagline was a social revolution, and we were really strong on this, that we need to revolutionize our communities. And then another chapter, in 2015, we moved over to making hope contagious. We felt that we did a lot of groundbreaking already, shifting some boundaries, actually a lot of them. And making hope contagious became our new tagline. And of course, we understand that hope not shared is not real hope. Okay, and so making hope contagious became something that we breathed, lived by. We printed on our t-shirts and our banners and everywhere else, because we really believe in this. And so the next chapter for RLabs is going to look different, and that's why we've realized where RLabs South Africa needs to go. It needs new leadership. Okay? For us that have led the organization up to this point, it was a different type of leader. And of course, I'm so excited to see, what's going to be coming of RLabs South Africa, and at the same time realizing that we have not reached our grand goal, our vision that we set out for 2030, and we need a change in leadership to be able to get us there. And with that, this big audacious goal that we have, how do you plan on ensuring that this remains a core focus of RLabs South Africa?
So, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the journey. And as I mentioned earlier, the foundation is sealed. The people, it's always going to be about people. I do believe that for the next chapter, it's going to be time for us as a people to focus. I have the strong sense of it's time for us to master, and that's how I believe we're going to get to our 2 billion audacious goal. So, yeah.
I love that, being able to master and focus. I think those are really strong words. Christine, anything you'd like to tell the community, our RLabs champions and partners that will be watching?
It's certainly not over yet. The possibilities are endless. And let me tell you, we are going to have so much fun.
How?
In making hope contagious. Oh.
I love how we can always laugh at ourselves. So Christine, I was thinking that, we're appointing a new CEO And in this thought was, we've actually never appointed a CEO before. Remember, I just kind of got into the role by default as a founding CEO. You don't get appointed, you're just there and you take on the role. So you are our first CEO that we've officially appointed. And we know that this is going to serve as a benchmark for all our future CEO appointments, which is also exciting, We know that you will be the lighthouse because you always bring light and laughter and joy into any space you step into. So we know you're going to be our lighthouse, but also the lighthouse to all who's going to go on this adventurous journey. And as we continue on this road, I know we use the word journey quite freely, but the journey always leads you to some place. And I love how we are able to write it as we go along. And yes, our journey is, to make hope contagious. My friend, my colleague, watching you grow from this young lady that was very curious and had lots of questions, starting out, taking on all these challenges, and even over the last 5 years, you've seen a lot, you've experienced a lot, but you've given so much more. And I don't think, I don't have any doubt in my mind that we would never have been able to be at this moment in time if you weren't part of the leadership team. And so the executive team have had many moments of deliberation. Actually, I think 2 years before we actually told you or asked you, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about the shift and the change of leadership that needs to happen in order for us to go into the next chapter. So this was not a decision that was taken lightly. We did seek counsel. We had advisors that were talking to us. I mean, you spoke earlier on about you getting a coach. I also needed a coach, to let go, because that's one of my weaknesses. And so we've been on this journey together, and we're finally at this moment in time. And I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that you not only embody the culture of RLabs as we know it today, but you also embody the culture of RLabs in everything you do. Not just here, in every single aspect of your life. Everything you do, everything you stand for. You're a leader with extraordinary compassion. Oh my goodness, I think your compassion is, one of your strongest traits. And you have vision and you have drive. And I love how you bring your own personal vision, your own personal identity into that of RLabs, making sure that we are fulfilling what we set out to do. And if anyone can build on our existing impact in South Africa and push for the rapid expansion across the countries, reaching all those provinces you just told us earlier on about, we know that this Miss Christine Nicola Teufel, you definitely can. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining our big announcement. I'm sure you're all wondering what this announcement is. Our announcement today is that our founder, Morens Parker, is celebrating a birthday. I am kidding. He would not like us to be sharing this with the world that he is getting a year older. But I'm sure by watching the video that we shared with you, you now know what our big announcement is. So we are so excited. We are so ecstatic. With me today, I have Craig Dumont, who's one of our board of directors, who's been with us since we started. Craig, please say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone. So glad you're all joining us today. I'm obviously very happy to be here.
And last but not least, we have our very own Christine Nicola Tafel, who's our new CEO for RLabs South Africa. Christine, tell us, how are you feeling now?
Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from.
I feel, goodness, I've got this immense gratitude flowing from within. I've got so many messages coming through on my phone, and of course I didn't sleep last night. Yeah, I'm feeling really excited for what's to come. Yeah.
Thank you, Christine. You look absolutely beautiful today. And you know, while we were watching the video and going into the background, and we saw all the amazing comments that were coming online, and people wishing Christine well, wishing all of us well. I feel like we're all celebrating something. Someone asked me earlier on, Lenny, who's actually more excited? And I said, definitely me. I feel, and whoever I speak to, all the staff have been saying that, right? Craig, remember a few years ago, we were in one of our board meetings, and we started having a conversation, as usual, brainstorming, thinking, dreaming about RLabs. I think you should share with us how we got to this moment.
Sure. Yeah. Renee, yeah, as usual, we are always very excited and open to new changes, and particularly if that can benefit, serving the community. And you all know that our goal is to reach and impact 2 billion people around the world. And I remember that particular day, Marlon usually come and share a couple of thoughts and inspiration. And I think one of the things that he talked about was, we have to think about how we reposition ourselves as an organization, knowing that we're working already in 23 countries. How are we really going to reach the 2 billion people? And how can we impact 2 billion lives around the world? And some of the thoughts that we had at that stage was around, we really have to set up an RLabs Global, for example. Those are some of the conversations that came up, and we talked about what could that look like. And we also talked about, how can we strengthen the work that we want to do in South Africa? And obviously, Renee, yourself, you had some thoughts around what you want to do in the future. And I think by then already you had some ideas of what you want to see happening. And I remember you were talking a lot in the past around retiring, And so you've retired a few times. But we are so happy that we reached this stage where we know that, this was the best decision really, from that one conversation, that we see now the unfolding of that conversation to where we can have, Christine Nicola Tafel as our new CEO, because we know that is what we need. And we're so happy that she decided and agreed to actually be part of that. Yeah, but those were the conversations. I mean, there were many things that we spoke about.
That's true, Craig. And you're really taking me back now to those moments, right? And of course, we sought counsel, we spoke to our advisory board, we spoke to other companies, asking them,
what do you do when you need to transition, right? And what does this handover actually look like? And earlier on, Christine mentioned in the video that she went through coaching, right? But it wasn't just her. We all had to go through that because, of course, for myself being the founding CEO, no one appointed me. I just, got into the role and started doing what I needed to do. And for RLabs, I think this is a huge step for us to be at this point in time where we are able to appoint a CEO. And I mean, we are definitely privileged to have been around for so many years, to have done the work that we've been doing, and to actually show that we can move on, right? We can moving on in the sense of growing and having new leadership at the realm. I think is extremely important for an organization, and having someone that has come through our doors at some point and being grown into the position, I think is that definitely makes us happy.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I was listening. I know you had a conversation in your board meeting, and of course I wasn't a part of that.
But I remember very clearly, most likely probably 2, 3 years ago, we were tasked as the leadership team then if we had an opportunity to become a CEO, or the next CEO within RLabs, and of course, none of this crossed my mind. What were some of the changes that we would make? And I thought, oh my word, should I say this? What should I? And then my response was, you know what? I will remove all pillars. Because in my heart, I felt that we were working in isolation, and there's so much more that we can do if we can actually just pull projects and teams together. That was really close to my heart, and I feel, of course, in the last, I think, year, because of course this transition it's been happening, that is exactly what we've been implementing already. So I'm pretty excited, just to see, because there's already change. And I'm so happy that now we can actually share the change with, with our community, with, all the people in our ecosystem. So yeah.
It's been an interesting journey trying to keep this under wraps.
Oh.
Trying to get people not to talk about it. We had different processes that we followed, but I think now we can all breathe. Yes, we can all breathe. Be like, okay, we are at our next stage. We're at the next stage of RLabs. RLabs is 14 years old. In 2009, that's when we registered, or at least got a board. And we started doing the work, not really knowing where it's going. But I'm really happy now that we can see where it's going.
Yeah, and I think the important part to remember is that RLabs has a very good foundation.
Yes.
So the decisions that's being made, like you say, it's done with council. We have advisory board members. We've got our community advisor. We've got very good founding partners who's been there all along, on our journey. And so the foundation is there. And so we're not building something new with the changes that we've made. We're literally building on the foundation. And we know, when you go deep in terms of your foundation, when it's strong, you can actually reach much higher and further. And so, that's the exciting part, with Christine's appointment as our new CEO, that we will actually reach those goals and objectives that we've set ourselves. So we're very excited, Christine, and I'm sure the community is already excited. Yeah.
I mean, yes, the foundation has definitely been, done. It's done. And I mean, we can't not have this moment by not thanking the people that has gone before us.
Right?
Right? And I mean,
you on my right, on my left, and of course, Marlon Parker, happy birthday. Really, the work that you've done will always be there and at the core of what we do. And so really, I just want to say this publicly, thank you, for the support I've been here for what, 11 years? I can't believe it. I feel like it's been, actually, I feel like it's definitely been longer, but really thank you for being you, and thank you for entrusting me, but also the team that is behind me, because of course it's not just about me today. So yes, thank you, Renee. Thank you, Craig.
Work at these different organizations. We'll be happy to have you join us. And our team obviously there will be happy to welcome you. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, Craig. I'm going to read some. Oh, here we have a question. Should I be reading this question? Oh. Okay, Christine, this is definitely for you, because I think Craig and I are definitely off the hook right now. What is the one thing you would change about this organization to reach that audacious goal? I'm assuming it's the goal that Marlon mentioned in the video right in the beginning.
Oh my goodness. I think one of the things that I would definitely want to change is, one, how people see themselves, right? I believe that if, like, bring yourself, bring your true self to this, I feel like that is very important, because a lot of the times we get so stuck into what everyone else sees for us, or how other people see us. But what are your dreams? What are your thoughts? Bring that, because we need you. We need the authentic you. So yeah, I mean, that's really one of the things. Everyone knows that people is quite close to my heart, and so I would want the team even to see themselves as, oh my word, I am amazing.
Clinton, I think I'm going to jump in here as well. I know you didn't ask me that question, but we are definitely hoping, when we talk about an organization, that's the structure, that's the framework, and then we talk about RLabs as a movement of people, of individuals, of companies, of organizations, of other partners, community groups. And I think that is something that always changes. So, I mean, if we can say anything from the last 14 years, we've seen it's not so much that we wanted to change things, we've always taken the cue from the community, and being able to evolve as the community is evolving, as time is moving on, our country, like things are changing, and so to be able to do that, I'm definitely with you, Clinton. I'm looking forward to seeing what new shifts are going to come, what changes are going to come, because it's important. If anything is constant, we know it's change. So we're definitely looking forward to that. One other question is, of course, to Christine. How do you plan to lead and inspire your team to achieve the company's vision and mission?
I mean, you know what? Let's live fearlessly. I think I'm so tired of us being silenced, right? I mean, I'm tired of people being afraid. I want everyone to look at yourself, look at even this country. There's so many contradictory perspectives. I want South Africa to be at the cutting edge, of it all. I want South Africa to be at every fellowship, We're always looking at innovation, and we're always thinking of other countries, whether it's abroad or other African countries. But I feel like the time is now, for us as South Africans to see ourselves like that. And so I would, that is my encouragement, or my mission, is to let's not be afraid. Let's be bold.
Thank you, Christine. I'm definitely feeling inspired. And one of the things that you were talking about that I was just reminded of, that, and Craig alluded to things that are going as a movement through a transition. And therefore, we have RLabs South Africa now, under the leadership of Christine. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing where else we are going to be building this, right? And it might look a little different, and it doesn't matter, you know, as long as it's coming from the ground, as long as people are feeling that they're involved. And Christine, another question. Oh, they're just hitting you with all of these beautiful comments and questions. What encouragements can you give to women to take up a role like being a CEO?
Oh, wow. Firstly, I'm a woman. Okay, I'm a woman of color. I have a story too, which means each and every one of us have a story, but that doesn't define you. Whatever you've ever been through, it doesn't define you. I didn't ask for this. I simply worked. I worked hard, and so my encouragement to every woman: just work hard. Yeah, I mean, I'm really conscious of, you know, being a woman and also being reared, or at least I was raised by a single woman as well. And so, again, just because my story is a little different, it really doesn't determine or doesn't deter, it doesn't change, you know. Yeah, so like really to every woman out there, again, I don't know, I can't express, just don't be shunned by what people think of you. You know, yeah, that's my encouragement to any woman in this role. And of course, the role has just begun, so I really don't know how this is going to evolve. And I'm hoping maybe 6 months, a year from now, you know, all of that would even evolve. So, yeah. I'm hoping I answered your question, Keenan.
Thank you, Christine. We have a question from Lydia Plaikis. Hello, Lydia. I'm so happy you're watching us. We've journeyed together since before we were even RLabs. So thank you so much for all your support. Lydia's question is, I can't wait for RLabs movement to come and inspire the people in Swellendam. Do you have any plans to spread your wings here?
Oh my goodness. So, of course, we are currently based in
Cape Town. We are, of course, in Johannesburg as well. The idea is for us to be moving, you know, and so if there's an organization, you know, if there's any champions that is willing to, you know, move alongside with us in Swellendam, why not? Yeah, so that is, we are really looking at, we need to get RLabs everywhere. And so, yeah, I mean, we never know. So, Lydia, we might be coming your way.
So I think we definitely have a champion in Swellendam. Yeah. I'm really looking for volunteers. We're going to be calling on you. Well, another question. Christine, what are you most excited about for this new journey that you're on?
Oh, that for the challenges, believe it or not. Because if I'm growing, it means that the people that's working with me, they're growing, which means that our community is growing. There's growth, there's a ripple effect, there's the snowball effect of growth, and that's what I'm looking forward to most. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Kutsia.
Okay, I think we're coming to the end of our chat. I'm sure there are more questions or comments, but we really want to thank everyone for the enthusiasm, for the encouragement. And Craig, I think I'm going to hand over to you to maybe just wrap up this session before we give Christine a moment to share final words, or Oh, there's
Yeah.
some more encouraging words on the screen. Should we?
You want to read it?
Should I read some of
Yeah,
them?
yeah. I think that would be lovely.
So, from Kalita, powerful women, refreshing to hear their heartbeats. Kaniesa, wonderful, great leaders, ask great questions. Go get them, Christine. And the authenticity, wishing you absolute greatness. And there are more and more and more coming. And I know your phone has been being since last night, since the press release went out. And being able to, I mean, so many more messages of congratulations that's coming up. Craig, I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Renee. And again, thank you so much to everyone for joining us today to celebrate this incredible milestone for RLabs. And we know all of you have been very supportive of the work that we do, so we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And as you know, RLabs is really about making hope contagious. And so today, we are really excited to see that more and more people will actually experience an enablement through the work that we do, whether it is education, training, the technology that we have, and the different partnerships that we will start in places like Swellendam and further, into some of the outskirts of Cape Town, that people will really be enabled and use that enablement to support and again share that with somebody else. Because through that, we can really transform our communities. And as RLabs, really, we are about, building community wealth. And so doing that, we're also really excited to see how, our newly CEO, together with a team around her, and obviously ourselves supporting her, will really create new industries and transform our communities going forward. So we are really very, very excited about this new chapter of the journey that we've been starting many years ago. So very exciting. Christine, all yours.
Just before I give Christine a moment for her last words, I love this comment. I'm sorry, I need to read it. It says, "Congrats, Christine. Well, CEO chair fits you perfectly." Christine, final words to all the people watching us.
You know, I feel like
The fire has been ignited, on the southern tip of Africa. And I believe that, apologies, I believe that it is time for us as a people to position ourselves. It's time for us to embrace our power, our influence. Let's embrace our power and our influence, but change the course of our history. Really, that's to our people. Thank you.